Once was a land of woe and strife, where the people were bereft of hope. They prayed to their gods of might and light to deliver the heroes of old. Instead they got heroes. Did you hear the quotes in my voice of moral ambiguity? They may help or may not help you at all. Depends on what's in it for them. They kick and they punch and they maul and they smash. They lie and they scheme and they burn and they slash. Succeed or fail, it adds to the tale. Dungeons and Debacle starts now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Dungeons and Debacles podcast. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Kevin. Going around the table, Blake.
Hi, I'm Blake, and I'll be playing Juliet, the Dragonborn Eldritch Knight.
And John.
Hey. I'm John, playing Alunodas, Elven Monk.
And Hannah.
I'm Hannah, and I will be playing Talia, the Human Rogue.
And Oliver.
I'm Oliver, and I will be playing Edel Belmont, the Hellsworn Paladin.
And Shane.
That's my name. I'm playing Alexander the Bard / Wizard.
The last time on Dungeons and Debacles podcast, you guys made it to Carnley. You were tasked by one of the higher-ups in the city, a councilwoman named Aries Goldsmith, who contracted you to take out one of her rivals before she would tell you anything about where to find one of the artifacts. So she gave you a target by the name of Dorn Stonehide, and where he could be located in an apartment. You went there and took out his bodyguard, his wife, and him. You also found a chest that had 500 gold in it, and in the process, Talia was picking the lock and was poisoned, but was promptly depoisoned by Edel. So you guys are back at the end, and I'm assuming taking a rest?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Before we go to bed, I want to ask Juliet some questions.
By all means.
I have zero problem with killing people. I just want to know what the hell did we just do?
Oh, right. You see, we are a group of professionals who try and hold an ideal above all others to summon our great savior. She's a bit of a handful, as you can tell, considering what we have to do for her, but every step is a step in the right direction for this universe and our savior.
That sounds like a load. Let me rephrase this, I guess. I'm not a kid. I've been on the streets far too long. You can be honest with me. What just happened?
Okay, fair enough. You did guide us here, and you deserve all the answers that we have to give. We're problem solvers for well, I guess the disrespectful way to put it would be a cult. But we're part of a group called the Red Talons who seek to bring a great destroyer, and we're hoping rebirth, I assume, to the world that was sealed away long ago by several archmages. We don't think they did quite the right thing, and I'll be really, really, really honest here. I only joined because I didn't have much of a choice. What happened was that we were doing some very good things to try and stop this. And one of the Red Talon members showed up, and kicked our friend's ass. And instead of dying, we decided to go along and play with him.
I assume that this will be profitable for everyone involved?
Oh, yes. Money for everyone, comfort for everyone, and of course, a nice bunch of people to share it all with.
Okay. How can I help?
At this point, what he's explained to you, with it being the Red Talons, Talia, you know exactly who they are, and you know that they worship Ruin Axis. So, do you have any questions about that?
I not at this time. I don't think. Mostly, I just don't really want to get kicked out of this nice, warm, comfy group that I found myself in. So I just kind of want to help as much as possible and seem as helpful as possible, so that I don't get left behind.
So, what was your question to Juliet?
How can I be the most helpful?
Plenty helpful already. I mean, we don't exactly have anyone to help us out in the city except for you. There's supposed to be other people here, but we haven't found them yet, and that's okay because we have you. And as long as you at least stay with us, you'll be fine. So you're really helping out a lot already, and I have to say I'm actually quite surprised that you're okay with killing people. I use murdering very sparingly.
Well, I mean, I've had to do worse just to stay alive on the streets, so...
Oh, you're so adorable and so likable. I knew that when we saw you stealing from us, it was a good thing.
Oh, are you going to pinch her cheeks?
No, Dragonborn have no conception of how cheeks work.
Oh, well, how about like a little hair rustle?
Yeah, sure.
With my questions answered, I grab my cloak and I curl up on the floor again.
Now hold on. Before you go to bed, and I know it's late,
Yes?
is there anything that we can do to help you? Because honestly, gold and all of this fame and fortune and whatnot is screwed, but sometimes we all need, something else. So is there anything that you need from us?
Well, I mean, you've fed me, you've clothed me, you've given me a place to wash myself, which is amazing. There is something that I need to do here in the city, but I kind of want to take care of it by myself.
Okay, that's fair enough. We're here to help you, and yeah, I think things are going to be looking up for you for a very long time. But listen to me, Prattle. Let's get some shut-eye.
Sounds good.
All right, so you guys are going to bed. Is everybody else going to bed?
Yeah, I'm already there, so.
I think so.
All righty, Shane, let's do that thing you do where you down into the secret channel.
Have Kevin.
All right, give me that delicious wisdom save.
Oh no. Let's see how it happens. Wisdom. Click. 11.
All right, so you actually you have some kind of bad dreams, but you don't remember what they are, but you sleep throughout the night.
Easy enough.
All right, we're back. So the next morning comes, and sun's filtering through the windows, and you hear a knock. Everybody hears a knock on the door to their own apartments in the hotel. And outside the door, there is a tray with breakfast.
Is it the little guy with the high-pitched voice?
There's actually no one outside. They just dropped off the carts, knocked on the door, and walked off.
Easy enough. I drag it in the room.
So, Alexander, what you are going to notice about your cart is there is another letter.
I take it, is there anything written on top of it?
No, there's nothing written on top of it. It appears to be a envelope.
I go and open it up.
So when you open it up, it says that I hear the job's completed. Meet me at my house. Aries Goldsmith. Burn this letter after reading.
I go and burn it.
All right.
I'll let everyone know what the letter said and that the person will be waiting in the house. Well, she wants to meet with us.
Okay. Let's go meet with her then. Unless
we
we
eat
have
first?
other business.
Not really.
So I assume everybody eats breakfast and you're on your way back to the noble court.
What do we have for breakfast?
It is some fruits you don't recognize, and some ham and some bread.
What's a barrette?
Bread.
Oh.
Literally the most popular food in the world, Oliver.
Bread.
Yeah, we're going to the house.
Okay, so you guys make it back up to the noble court, and you present the letter of introduction that you had before to get in, and the guard lets you inside, and you are back at Councilwoman Goldsmith's house. So I guess everybody's going in?
Yep.
I would assume so.
So around this time, it's probably about 10 a.m. or so by the time you make it there. And then when you walk inside, it's much the same. You walk inside the hallway and into the living room. There's the same three women that you saw before. There's Ares Goldsmith, the tiefling, and the mage. And as you walk in, the Ares Goldsmith says, "Well done, my dark companions. I heard there was quite a tragedy at Stonehide's home. The rumors are already running rapid through the city. People are saying there was a grisly murder there. Dorn, his wife, and a bodyguard were cut down in the dark of night by thieves. Can I presume this was your handiwork?"
If it was, we wouldn't tell you.
We're certainly not thieves.
How coy. Please have a seat. Stewards, bring some refreshments for our friends. And then
I go sit down.
So after you sit down, there is some stewards that bring some wine and some cheeses and some bread and sits them down on a coffee table in the living room. Now for what you've come for. Information on the second artifact. Exactly how much do you know of it?
Not much. What can you tell us about it?
The Amulet of Dominion was created by the dwarven artificer and enchanter Ural Ironstaff. He was known as one of the greatest dwarven wizards that ever lived. He was an archmage at the Arcane Academy located on the Isle of Insight. He was an artificer of some great power, but his love was tinkering with machines and imbuing them with magic. The nations of Suel beat their armies against the unstoppable tide that was Ruinaxis. They took heavy losses, and Uriel hatched a plan to create magical devices that, when planted into the skulls of lesser races and animals, would allow Uriel to control them to command them against the fight against Ruinaxis. With limited success, Uriel turned his attention to creating the Amulet of Dominion. With it, he was able to command Ruinaxis' hordes to fight for him instead of against him. However, even that wasn't enough. So he hatched a plan to banish Ruinaxis after all attempts in the nation Suel face her in martial and magical combat. It's said that the amulet could control the minds of countless hordes.
Seems pretty
And he
powerful.
probably thought of himself as a good person. What a jerk.
Yes, but doesn't all powerful people think that?
Touche.
What we know is the Amulet of Dominion has been secured in the Tower of Insight, but we haven't dared try to take it. It's too well guarded, and just getting into the tower is problematic if you aren't an archmage or at least a student there. There are signs of our mistress's return, and now is the time to take it. And then Ares motions to the tall elf woman in a gray robe to her side. This is Steph. She is, let's say, an important person with information about the Tower of Insight. She can't act on her own, but can give you the information to get you into the tower and procure the artifact. Then the elf in the gray robe begins to speak, but she looks at Juliet, stops, and smiles, giving her a knowing nod.
May I make an insight check?
Sure.
Okay. 20! 2 natural 20s.
Wow, that's impressive. So, when she nods to Juliet, you can kind of tell she thinks there's something special about her.
Special is a good way to put it.
Steph, the Elven archmage, says, "I was able to discern last night that at least 2 of you have the talent for magic, albeit slight. but the talent is enough for our purpose. As Mistress Goldsmith has said, unless you're an archmage or a student coming to the Isle for training, there's little chance you will make it into the tower itself. I have prepared your introductions this morning, and they will be expecting you. However, this theft cannot get back to you, because if it does, I will be exposed, because I had to vouch for your introductions. You will masquerade as wealthy students coming from 2 minor houses in the King of Dornmoth for training. You, Lady Dragonborn, will be Yorish Redscale. It's the only house of Dragonborns I know in Dornmoth, and shall pass any cursory inspection. And you, sir, and then she looks at Alexander, and she says, will go by Fennel Hatch, the eldest son of the wealthy merchant in Dornmoth. As there are only 2 of you, as we say, non-traditionally trained, the rest of you will have to pretend to be servants. You servants won't have access to the tower itself, but you will have to figure out when you get there. Keep to yourselves, as there's many students from Dornmoth at the tower, and I don't think you want to have an awkward conversation that can expose your deception. There's a boat leaving tomorrow at noon from the Isle's embassy here in Carnley to the Isle of Insight. You will meet a mage there of the name Edris Kelp. He handles the intake of pupils. Present your introductions and keep your mouth shut. Loose lips tell easily discoverable lies, and the Isle doesn't suffer fools for long. Board the boat and make it to the Isle. Once you get to the Isle, you'll be put into housing. As you are affluent students, you have been set up in private housing in the city. That took no small amount of coin to make that happen at such short notice. And then she gives a look to Ares, which you think Ares probably paid for that. That should keep you away from the other nosy students. I have maps and passwords to get you past the guards in this scroll case. But none of that matters if you can't get past the wards that guard the tower's most dangerous secrets in its citadel. In that deep hidden room are objects of terrible power. Those secrets are only known to a few, and I am one of them. The hallway that leads to the citadel is unguarded, but heavily warded. I'm assuming at least one of you novices knows how to cast the detect magic spell, yes?
Yes.
That won't be a problem at all.
You must first detect magic to be able to see what you're trying to defeat. I have prepared scrolls of a special dispel magic to defeat the most dangerous of the room's protections, a particularly nasty ward of mass disintegration, and a special knock spell to unlock the last door to gain interest into the citadel. Do any of you know how to read and cast magic from a scroll?
Indeed I do.
Excellent. Inside the citadel is an anti-magic field, which prevents the items from activating. You will not be able to cast any magic, and any magical item you carry will not work inside the citadel. There is a research room at the back of the citadel that is not protected by the anti-magic field to allow research on these items, but that doesn't concern your mission. What does concern you is the artifact. It is a jeweled gold necklace in a glass case on the back wall of the room. You can't miss it. Don't be distracted by the other items in the room. They are locked away for a reason. That reason is they're too powerful and too uncontrollable. They are incredibly dangerous to anyone who has not studied them. Ignore everything but the artifact, get it, and get out as fast as you can. Make your apologies to the dean of the school by whatever deception that you come up with, and bring the amulet back here. And at that point, Steph hands Juliet a scroll case and says, "Do you have any questions?"
Not really. I'm gonna get this thing done, or else my name isn't Mr. Hatch.
And then
Maybe we
Your name is
cross
Mr. Hatch?
being a bit more convincing.
Ares and and Steph give a laugh at the mention of Mr. Hatch. Since there's no other questions, Ares says, "Good. Now that it's settled, you have a ship to catch soon. I suggest you rest and come up with whatever plans you will need once you are at the Isle. Your reward is on the table by the door. I have other business to attend to, so you can show yourselves out." And then Aries Goldsmith turns and walks into her study, and Steph walks out the front door, leaving the tiefling just staring at you.
I awkwardly get up and start walking out.
This is really good fruit.
I grab
Alunodas
some
grabs
cheese
a
and
few
start
and
to walk.
yep, goes for the door.
I guess I'll do the same. I'll just also just walk out.
So I guess you guys are going to head back to your rooms, or is there something you want to do in the city?
I want to pick up our reward on the table on the way out.
You pick up a bag with 500 gold.
Nice.
Seems pretty good. I'll go and add that to my inventory. Where is it? Here it is.
What's your current gold count minus Edel's and Talia's expenses?
It doesn't tell his expenses. I'm pretty sure I already took that out, but I can probably take out more. Where I'm currently at 1509. I'm not too sure if I had taken out Juliet's expenses yet.
All right, so you basically have the entire day and entire night until you have to get on the boat to the Isle of Insight.
Okay.
We're coming back to the city, right?
I don't
We
know.
have to come back.
Just making sure.
Yeah. Hey, Juliet.
Oh, yes. Can I help you?
Yeah, quick suggestion. How about we make our way over to the tailor so that we can get some clothes to look the part, rather than looking like a bunch of ragtag misfits.
I do
Alunodas looks
like
down
your
at his
thinking.
robes. I think I look nice.
Yeah. Would Alexander know offhand where the tailor's place is from wandering around?
He would know by walking around in the northern markets that he could find any number of tailors there. I'm assuming that you're going to want to try to find something fancy in the style of a wizard pupil.
Right. Okay, Juliet, should we go and make our way over to the North Market? Figure something out.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing a servant, correct?
You mean you are a servant and you're going to be continuing
Yeah.
that role?
Well, that's one thing
Christ.
that you probably need to figure out, because at this point...
I have no idea. My character does not.
Okay, so at this point, Steph has told you that the two students are coming from Dormoth, which is over in the southeast of the continent. You're going to be students, and you're going to be having servants attend you because you're very affluent. So you need to figure out who's playing what part.
I'd have thought that Edel would hate the idea of being a servant.
He very much would.
Perhaps bodyguard would suit him better.
Probably.
Is there much difference between a servant and a bodyguard?
Yes.
There is.
Servants have to take a little bit more shit than bodyguards do.
Yes, I would think the servants are usually seen as doing very menial tasks. Yeah, but do we have to get uniforms for them as well?
If you want to
should.
try to create some sort of livery, or have it created in the city, you could.
Okay, probably
I
just get some
can-
matching outfits.
I can lead the people who are going to be servants to the southern market tailors, where we would find that kind of thing.
Well, you would find you would know that the finest tailors would be in the North Market, and since
Right.
gold apparently is not a concern, it's
Right,
probably,
but servants may not have the money to get uniforms made at the northern tailors.
yeah, but
Well, guys
servants
would be
probably
provided.
aren't spending their own money on livery.
Fair.
Well, why don't we just all go to the North District and we'll figure it out whenever we get there.
All right, so I guess everybody is going to the Northern Market District.
Correct.
So, as you are going through, you see multiple signs for, various things from magical items to potions to exotic foods and multiple tailor shops, but you see one tailor shop that stands out above the rest. It is a huge 3-story building, and the glowing sign out front reads Marcus's Haute Couture.
No less than anything else, huh? Might as well go inside and see what it's about.
So you walk in, and there are exotic bolts of cloth everywhere. And there's also probably 5 noble ladies, no less, in the shop picking out fabrics. And you can see that there's probably 10 tailors inside the shop fitting individual people for clothing. And there appears to be you see a tall, pale half-elf with black hair and braids and a black and silver embroidered robe that is whipping people into shape.
I walk up to her with Juliet by my side.
Whoa, you're at my side. So let's get this straight here.
We're both walking at the same pace.
Uh-huh.
I walk a little faster.
That's going to get you killed as a servant. Like, I would just straight up, you're gone, toss you into the water.
Well, alright. It's kind of weird.
You don't fuck around as a servant, man.
Yeah, I feel like servants would be a little less like common. You know what I mean?
What if we were more
it's
like
pretty much like slavery.
trainers, tutors, that sort of thing? Less servant, more educators.
How about less educator and more caddy?
I go and walk up to the fucking the counter with the woman.
So it's not actually a woman, it's a male half-elf.
Male half-elf, long hair, black.
Yeah, so you may, and he has very androgynous features, so you may have mistaken him for a woman. And as you walk up to the counter, he crosses his arms, and you can see that he's just looking you up and down, and says, "Yes, may I help you?"
Please, me and my friend here, I mentioned to Juliet, are trying to get outfits for our time at the at the Magic College that we'll be attending soon, and also for our servants and assistants that are coming with. I was wondering if you guys could help us with that.
So he says, "Those clothes are absolutely droll, but I'm sure you're well aware of that. Where did you get them? At a discount clothes store in the South Market?"
Former clothes were damaged due to some issues.
Of course, that makes sense. Now, what were you thinking? Mage robes for the college, you say?
That's correct. Something fitting, and I know they like all their drapery and whatnot, but it'd be nice to have something a little stylish, not just this monk or, religious servant kind of thing. It always bored me.
Yes. All the mages are so boring with their stuffy libraries and their books. Maybe we could do something to add quite some flair to your clothing. Girls, fit them. And then 2 women come out of the back and pull out some measuring tapes and start measuring Juliet and Shane. And they're getting up in all the awkward places with their tape measures.
Yep.
I make awkward sounds.
And then Marcus says, "All the clothes just for you, or will you also be outfitting your servants? Are they?"
I'm wearing like fine clothes, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah, but Marcus is an asshole.
How sweet.
You guys can hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, if we could get some matching clothes for these servants. The one who's not with us decided to wash all of ours in salt water, so that is why we are missing a servant, and our clothes are frustratingly damaged.
And Marcus says, "I say I'm horrified. Why would anyone wash clothing in salt water? It's so abrasive, and it's hard to get the salt out itself." "Yes, we'll get you straight away. No worries." And then, a couple more girls come out from the sides after finishing up with the other women in the shop and start taking measurements for Edel and Talia. Who am I missing? Alunodas. So they take their measurements and they create you some fine silks that are gray in color. And after they finish them up, Marcus says, "Now, would you like these boxed up, or would you like to wear them out? I'm not sure I would be walking the streets of the North Market in what you're wearing now."
Boxed up, please.
Of course. Have it your way. So he snaps his fingers, and some of the ladies in the shop wrap the garments up in boxes and gift wraps them, and puts them on the counter. And Marcus says, "Of course, I hate to discuss anything so vulgar as money, but that will be 200 gold.
Damn!
You got it. I go and hand over 200. I'm tossing in an extra 20 gold as a tip.
Okay. So Marcus says, "Thank you for your patronage and enjoy your clothing."
We'll make sure to let everyone know where our clothes came from when they're so duly impressed.
Yes, fine craftsmanship and word of mouth really is the best advertising. But the sign out front doesn't hurt either. What are you doing now?
Grabbing our stuff and going back to the room.
Okay, so you make it back to the hotel and you are greeted by Steven again. "Welcome back to the inn. Is there anything else I can help you with?"
Hey, Esteban.
I think we're good for now, Steven. Thanks.
Okay, just let us know if there's anything we can do to help you make your stay more pleasurable.
Yeah, just go and walk all the way up to our rooms.
You're not going to take the elevator?
I wasn't sure if the elevator is just something that we can just hop on. Guess I'm using the elevator.
I'm taking the stairs.
Alright, so you all make it back to your rooms.
Does anybody else feel like we should talk to Stephen and find out more about him?
Not really.
I feel like there's definitely something behind him, and one of the things I'm thinking of is, well, we were just given the chance by Kevin to wear these clothes up, and we didn't. And I specifically said that so we wouldn't be followed back to our place. Someone discovers who we are really and goes and screws with that. One thing I'd like to do is ask Steven if we can pay him to forget about us, at least for a little bit, because he looks like he's, the guy who you'd go to for information. That's what it feels like to me. But yeah, we could try and get involved in his life, see what he's really up to. He seems rather enthusiastic for someone in his place. Yes, no, maybe so.
We can make him go to sleep.
He's fairly young. He's probably bought off pretty easily.
That's true. Hannah does bring up a good point.
And I mean, if we're not the ones buying him off, then somebody else could, and that's not a good idea.
Nah, it'll be fine.
We could always let our halfling friend from down in the tavern know about him. Say maybe he should kill him or something.
I'm not saying we should kill the poor boy, but
Neither am I. I'm saying we
should
have him killed.
What are we, rich? Jeez.
Yeah, I don't think killing him is a good idea, seeing as how he hasn't really wronged us. And killing people in general, I mean, yeah, if we're bid to do it, but if we don't have to, wouldn't a bloody nose be better?
I mean, I feel like just intimidating him and being like, look, if you tell anybody we're here, then you and everyone you love is not going to make it much longer.
I could do that.
That could work.
That does sound like a good idea.
We can't always fall back on the just kill him thing.
It seems to work every time, though.
It's a fairly...
Without fail.
So far, yeah. Like, without fail.
Except
Yes,
for the
but then it
times.
will fail. And then we'll all be making new characters because we'll all be dead.
All right, so you guys are back to the inn, and you're unboxing your clothing, and it is some mighty fine gear. This is like Kanye West white t-shirt level stuff.
What does that even...
Kanye West has a t-shirt that sells for $200 and it's like got holes in it and shit.
Yep.
Oh, I fucking hate those.
Well, it's listed at $200. Does anyone actually buy the damn thing?
Unfortunately, yes.
People got too much damn money.
It's not about having the shirt. It's about telling people that you have the shirt.
I mean, you could make one at home and no one would know the difference.
We talked about talking to Steven and possibly intimidating him so that he doesn't, tell secrets on us.
Okay. What secrets would Steven have?
The fact that we were there.
Goings.
Yeah, you can try.
So who's gonna do it? Is it gonna be me?
I think we had a discussion about that, 2 minutes ago.
I know. I was getting
All
final
right.
say. That's all.
Okay, fair enough.
And yeah, you're the one who's best at it.
Okay, sweet. Let me go and roll.
So are you going to go downstairs and try to find him?
Yeah, let me go all the way back downstairs.
You could just take the elevator. It's not going to hurt you.
That elevator is made by the hell spawn that I work for.
And you should trust it with all of your faith
What faith?
in the hellspawn that you work for.
I do not trust them. I merely work for them.
This might not be a bad opportunity to try to talk Steven into something too.
Oh, really? Like what?
I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and walk up to him then.
Okay,
After
so
I
you
spend
walk.
like a 3 minute fucking minutes catching my breath.
So you walk downstairs, and at this point, the lobby's pretty busy because it's probably late afternoon, and there's guests checking in, and you see Steven loading up carts and helping people on their way up to the elevator.
Okay. How should I approach him? I'm gonna let him finish doing that. Actually.
Okay, so you see Steven take this one couple that appears to be dwarves up into the elevator, and then probably 5 minutes later, you see Steven come back off the elevator with an empty cart.
I'll approach him and say, "Hey, hello, Steven.
Hello, big man. Is there anything I can help you with?
Here." I take him over to the side to a quieter area, away, a little more private, if I can.
Okay, he walks over with you.
And then I go, "It would be a shame if you were to go tweeting like a little bird, 'cause bad things happen to little birds who go tweet. You know what I'm saying?"
No, I don't, because this is a medieval fantasy world, and we don't have social media.
God damn it, Kevin! I'll break your legs if you tell anybody about us. Let's just do that.
What?
I'm trying to intimidate him. Correct?
This guy's making threats. Kick him off Twitter.
I guess that's
Joke's on you. I was never there.
Yeah, you looked up his Twitter handle, and he's got a frog as his Twitter profile picture.
Can I pick him up and then get advantage on intimidate? Hold him by the collar?
Is you could, but is that something you really want to be doing in the lobby of this hotel?
Oh, I didn't know I was in the lobby. I thought
Yeah, no, you're in the middle of the lobby.
All right.
Everybody coming in and out, and
Yeah,
you're just talking to this kid.
There are witnesses here.
Can I just go ahead and make an intimidation check? I meant to do that a little more discreet.
You're gonna be the downfall of us, Oliver.
Okay, so
We're leaving soon, so it's fine.
make an intimidation check.
All right, come on, no whammies.
So that's a 21. So what are you saying to him?
Oh, sorry. What I just said about breaking his legs. I say that.
He says, I know I made fun of you in the elevator before, but why would you want to break my legs?
Don't tell anybody about our comings and goings, all right? All right? And I put one gold coin in his hand, and then I walk away.
If anything, we're nothing but discreet here.
Hell yeah. And then I walk away and I put on my sunglasses while I poke myself in the eye with the sunglasses and go, ow. And then I stop and go, shut. And then I go back upstairs slowly and a little bit exhausted.
Before you do, give me a perception check.
Okay. I'm good at those. 3!
Before you get on the stairs, what you don't see is Steven he's crying.
Aww. I should shake him.
You're a terrible person.
This is an evil campaign, is it not?
You intimidate this little, 13, 14-year-old boy and made him cry. And he's not going to be saying anything about you, even though he probably wouldn't have been just because they're discreet at this hotel. You're walking back up the steps, so what's going on now?
I go to my room. I'll go to Juliet's door and knock on it real quick.
One moment. Edel, how can I help you?
It's done.
Fantastic. I want to say I'm surprised, but good job.
I nod in agreement and then go back and go to my room.
Come back and visit anytime.
Okay.
All right. Anybody want to do anything else?
Does Talia have anything she needs to take care of before we leave the city?
No, I'll handle it when we come back.
Alrighty.
If you come back. So, are we just saying that we're all hanging out tonight, eating dinner, and waiting to go to the embassy the next morning?
Yep.
I think we need to establish our roles in this whole thing. So
That's a good idea.
baseline role, me and Juliet are students, everyone else are like servants. But Edel isn't a big fan of being a quote unquote servant. We need to figure out how to make this as less abrasive as possible.
Well, he's the head servant, of course.
I'm not
Plus we
taking
need to give
orders
some-
no orders from him. No.
Yeah,
I
plus
feel like
we need
my
some sort of
character-
context for what they're doing and what their purpose is.
You said head servant.
Alright, fine. Jesus Christ. But I don't think Ada would be very good at being head servant. I feel like that's just a bad idea.
I go and knock on everyone's door and gather the people. And I guess we'll meet in Juliet's room.
Alright.
Okay, so me and Juliet are the students. Let's figure out, because you guys are supposed to be our quote-unquote servants, so we need to figure out what quote-unquote roles you guys are going to be filling, so that if we get pried into about why you're with us, we actually have a good reason, and also so that you guys aren't upset about what you're doing. Because I know that Edel is not very keen on being a servant.
I will not go down to that level.
So how are we gonna divvy this up? So, Edel, bodyguards sound good?
It'll do.
Cool. You'll be with me, Edel. Who do you want, Juliet? We're doing it like a draft, I guess?
I guess so. Who's gonna get picked last?
Are you doing an eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Red Rover kind of bullshit?
Yeah, hell yeah.
We're drafting, so I picked Edel. Juliet's gonna pick somebody.
Oh, well, obviously
Perhaps
Talia.
you're sharing
Yeah.
servants with
And
A woman.
Edel as bodyguard for the pair of you, myself as a major domo of sorts, and Talia as a runner.
And a lady's maid. A woman of your stature would have someone to help her dress.
Yes, that is true. Wait,
Yeah,
my
I guess
size? What?
I guess I have a Alunodas.
Of your
Thick.
stature. No, not size.
You're thick, boy.
Andy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll get a Alunodas. 5. So that's how it divvies up, I guess. So Edel will be my bodyguard.
Correct.
Alunodas will what do you want to do, Alunodas?
Major domo, as I said. Managing the apartments.
Oh, so just being like a housekeeper?
Major domo.
You know it. Housekeeper.
Got it.
So that
Seems
Adel can
easy
accompany the pair of you. I can stay in the home and guard that and watch over our things, while Talia would have free run of the city.
Easy enough. Hey, Kevin. Would we know if Edel came like with armor with him? Would they allow that on board?
That would make sense for me being a bodyguard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'm
if
not
he's a bodyguard, he would have like armor with some sort of livery over top of it.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. So you got armor. I would assume that we need to stop by and get some livery in the morning or something to put over, or do we have something?
No, that's what you guys just bought at the tailor's.
Okay. Got it. Okay, seems easy enough.
And honestly, I mean, if you're, going to the embassy or to the Isle of Insight, they're not really worried about anybody with a weapon or a sword, or armor or a sword.
Yeah. Makes
because
sense.
there's like super powerful mages here.
You were just like magic missile me into hell.
Yeah, they kind of look down on that. It's like, toys.
How sweet of them.
So, seems easy enough. I guess we'll just go to the ship in the morning.
All right, so everybody is going to bed. Shane, let's drop down into the secret channel again.
It's that time again, huh?
All right, give me that tasty wisdom save.
Let's see if I can do something. 16.
You sleep peacefully through the night with no dreams.
Easy enough. Let me copy and paste this stuff.
So Juliet put in chat, uses weapon bond to magically stash away the magical halberd and a +1 longsword.
Yeah, it's for future reference, so I can say, aha, I magically summoned this to my hand, and I have some proof that I actually did the work to do it.
Is that a spell, or what is that?
It's a class feature for Eldritch Knight.
Oh, nice.
You can use a bonus action to summon a bonded weapon to your hand from anywhere on the same plane. Can't be disarmed, and you can have 2 bonded weapons at the maximum, so they get stored away in a little dimensional pocket or some stuff, and you just summon them straight from there.
So that +1 longsword, is that what you got from Alexander?
Yes.
Alexander, do you want that back at any point, or are you just using a crossbow?
Yeah, I don't know, just give it to me, or...
Do I have a halberd?
I have a halberd. Do you want a halberd?
No.
No, I'm saying, isn't that like your main weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of want my longsword.
Oh, you can have your longsword back. It's +1, right?
I think Shane gave you the longsword in the last episode because you were in that fight.
Because you didn't take a weapon to a weapon fight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Brought your fist to a robbery.
You brought your fist to a
Put 'em
sword
up!
fight.
Your fist,
Yep,
that
you're
is.
right. Alright, take your longsword back then. I won't miss it.
Got it.
So, has everybody done everything that they need to do tonight? Are we moving on to the scene tomorrow morning?
Actually, I'm gonna see what I can do about buying some poison.
Okay.
Where would I buy poison?
You would probably need to find like a disreputable apothecary in the southern market.
Alright. So I guess I'll go to the southern market real quick.
Streetwise a thing?
I think it was in 4th edition, but now it's not.
What would be that skill now?
Maybe...
Investigation?
Yeah, like either that or like history would make a lot of sense.
Probably investigation. Give me that check because you don't. Well, or history
Right.
because you're from
Talia.
Well, he could do history because Edel is actually from Carnley.
So roll history.
Either history or investigation, whichever you want.
Alright. That's a 12.
What you would know is you would need to go down to the southern market, probably towards the warehouse district, and start asking questions to see if you could find someone who's selling it.
Cool. I guess I'll go do that.
So,
do you want me to like...
So you make it down to the market, and you see a shady guy hanging out on the street corner in the southern warehouse district.
Cool. I guess I'll go up to and like like covertly ask him if he's selling anything.
He says, "Are you a guard? If you're a guard, you got to tell me."
I'm not a guard. I'm just rich.
What are you looking for?
Poison. Strongest you got.
Poison, you say? Let's see the color of your coin.
What coin is that?
You're not there.
73.
Shut the fuck up.
You're not there. Shut up.
No, but I'm saying I have all the gold. Yeah. Where do you get his?
I've got 73. I sold some shit. Remember? I do.
So you would know that this poison would probably run at least like 15 gold. So are you going to pull that out and show it to him?
Yeah, I'll show him. I'll show him 15 gold.
And he says, "That'll do. Follow me."
I follow him.
You follow him down an alley and into a like kind of a door that's not marked, and inside there's 3 people hanging around and smoking something really strange smelling.
The devil's
that
lettuce.
Yeah, you don't recognize it. But give me a Constitution save.
Oh, all right. 2 unnatural 20s.
So you're smelling this, and you kind of feel like you're getting a little lightheaded, but you think that might just be your head messing with you. And the guy walks up to a old woman who is behind the counter of the shop and whispers something to her, and then she nods, and then she reaches underneath the counter and she pulls out a vial and sticks it, puts it on the counter, and looks at you and says, 20 gold.
20 gold. I already paid.
And then the guy says, "Yeah, you haven't paid me anything." Which you haven't. You haven't paid anybody anything. You just showed him that you had gold.
It was 15, not but 2 seconds ago.
No, that's just what your impression was, is what it would be worth. And then she asked for 20.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try and barter a little bit.
Okay, give me a persuasion check.
All right, 21.
Okay, what are you going to say to this little old human lady behind the counter?
I'm sure a young lady like yourself can get plenty of money. This is what I got. And then I slide over 15.
And she giggles and says, "You're quite the charmer. Sure, 15 gold will be enough." And then she slides the vial over to you and then takes the 15 gold off the counter and sticks it into her dress.
All right, I put the vial into my bag, and then I start heading back to the inn.
You not want to ask what kind of poison it is?
Yeah, I should do that. Now that I think, what kind of poison is this?
So she says it's cockatrice poison. Very potent.
Oh yeah? How many drops does it take to kill?
1 dose should do it.
Even the hardiest of dwarves?
Well, we know how hardy dwarves are. Who knows how well it'll do against them?
I'll just put an 8. And then I say thank you. I might come back and participate in your service again. And then I start walking out.
She just stares at you as you walk out the door.
Oh, alright.
So what you've got is a one-time use poison that will have to be applied to some sort of weapon.
Oh, okay.
And what it does is 1d8 poison damage per round, and it also does immobilization.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's a lot of damage. So I guess I'm ready to go if everyone else is.
Yep.
All right, so the next morning, is everybody on the in Roll20 on the map?
I am.
Yes.
Yep.
So where I'm pinging up on the map at number 29 in the northwest portion of the map, that is the embassy for the Isle of Insight. So you're going to have to cross back over the bridge again and go through the shitty part of town and then take a boat over to the embassy.
Cool.
So I'm assuming you're getting on the ferry. It's going to cost you 3 gold to cross over on the ferry to the embassy. And
It's paying.
what you notice is there are 2 towers on this fairly large isle out in the middle of the Salt River that runs through Carnley. And there's also many homes and some docks on the isle itself. As you pull onto the isle, there are some guards on the other side of the dock that are going to ask for your introductions. And they say, welcome to the Embassy of the Isle. How can we help you? So I'm guessing you're handing over your papers of introduction that Steph has given you.
I
Correct.
believe it was Idris Kelp, something like that.
He is the person that you're going to meet with, but he is not the guard hanging out.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So you hand over your introduction papers, and the guard compares it with the scroll that he has with apparent inductees, and says, everything seems to be in order. You can go in.
So I guess we head in.
I guess we all walk in.
So you walk into the embassy, and it is. You thought that the mansion that Goldsmith had was opulent, but the inside of this place is just incredible. It's magically enhanced. Every light in the place is lit by fairy fire. There's nice rugs and chairs and couches and tables everywhere. There appears to be like a banquet table at the back room that other people are helping themselves to. And as you look around, you see that there are probably 10 other people that you would think are students that will be heading to the Isle of Insight, milling about either with their heads in books or having some wine or eating from the buffet table.
I'd like to make a perception check to see if there's any one of them that stands out.
Okay, go ahead.
15.
So, what you do notice by looking around is there appears to be a drow in a dark, like charcoal gray cloak in the corner who appears to be all alone by herself. It's a lady drow. And she is not partaking of any of the food or reading. She appears to be just reading the room and trying to keep herself hidden.
I make a mental note of it, but don't really pursue anything.
Yeah, everything else in the room seems to be just like, almost like some, Harry Potter in, going to college, like bullshit.
Bullshit.
You're there probably about an hour or so. You're thinking it's getting on towards noon. There is a gnome in a red cloak that walks into the room and claps his hands and says, "May I have everyone's attention? The boat for the Isle of Insight shall be leaving soon. Please gather your things and prepare yourself for departure."
Can I make a perception check to see if that's our man? Is it the same guy?
You
Or
really
the same
wouldn't
voice?
know that because he hasn't introduced himself.
No, can I see him, or can I just hear his voice?
No, you can see him.
Okay. You just use the same voice as the guy from the hotel, so I wasn't sure if it was like the same guy or not.
Oh, you thought it was Steven, the hotel lobby guy that went all
Yeah.
the way to the embassy?
Yeah, I was like, man, the guy who.
Thanks for
we just
calling me out on my
intimidated, not
limited
telling
amount of
anybody
voices I could do. I appreciate that.
That's reasonable. But I was like, wait a minute. Did he get transferred over here? And then we have to deal with the awkward conversation.
Hey, it's me, Steven!
That son of a bitch.
So, everybody starts gathering up their things. The gnome walks back through the hallway and says, "Follow me!" And then everybody picks up their things and starts following him through this hallway. and it leads out through these double doors on the east side of the island, and there's a large ship with a gangplank, and says, and the gnome says, all aboard for the Isle of Insight.
I go on board.
That's us, yep.
Let's do this.
And I think that's probably a pretty good place to end it. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Dungeons and Debacles podcast. A lot of people say this, but we really do want to hear from you. Are we shinier than a platinum piece? Or stankier than a kobold's loincloth? Let us know what you liked and didn't like. Everything helps this make a better podcast for you. Got an idea for monsters, items, and commercials? Let us know about it. You might hear it in the show. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at Dungeons and Debacles Podcast. We also have a website where you can learn more about the characters, lore, and maps of this world. You'll also find articles about Dungeons and Dragons and a whole lot more. Just search Dungeons and Debacles Podcast. Do you think the government of Luscane is spying on you and you don't have a social media account? Then email us at dungeondebacle@gmail.com. You can also check out the theme song and all the commercials you heard on the podcast on our YouTube account. Just search Dungeons and Debacles Podcast. New episodes come out every Sunday, so check your podcast app. And now a word from this week's sponsor.
As an important, powerful, and wealthy person, it could be so hard to stand out in the crowd these days. Make a statement wherever you go with the latest and forward-thinking fashions from Marcus's Haute Couture. We have the finest materials from all corners of Suel, exotic dyes in every shade of the rainbow, and unrivaled craftsmanship. Whether it's your wedding, a graduation, a holiday, or a coronation, we have a style for any occasion that will make you look your best. They will know you came to Marcus as soon as you walk into the room. Located in the finest shopping district in Conley and the world, you can find us in the North Market. Marcus's Haute Couture, because you are worth it.
The music you heard on this episode was Moonlight Hall, Teller of the Tales, Tempting Secrets, Village Consort, Zazzy, Wizardtorium by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. You can find that license at creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0.